Got some very interesting breaking news concerning Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace have approached Manchester City about signing Manuel Akanji. Palace are looking for a centre-back in case Mark Gay leaves in the next 6 days. Gay has a year left on his contract and Palace are prepared to sell him to Liverpool if the price is right. City signed Akanji for £15 million from Borussia Dortmund 3 years ago. Galatasaray have also held initial talks about signing him. Wow, this is interesting stuff, isn't it? It sounds like Palace are getting ready for Mark Gay to leave.
They're already in a situation, Crystal Palace, where they only have 3 frontline centre-backs who are fit and ready to play. And we saw last week in the Conference League that Jefferson Lerma, who's a midfielder, played at centre-back to give Chris Richards a few minutes off. And this would be the sort of signing which definitely would excite Crystal Palace fans. Not excite, never that excited when you sign a defender, but I think it would encourage them, the fact they are planning for life after Mark Gay. Let's bear in mind, even if Mark Gay stays by the end of this deadline, it seems unlikely he's going to sign a new contract at the club. So they do need to have some forward planning there when Gay eventually departs, whether it's now or next summer, because it does feel like, with the options on the table for Mark Gay, him staying at Crystal Palace seems the most unlikely of those. And it was my understanding in the last few days that if Mark Gay was to depart, they'd look to sign a Premier League-ready replacement rather than a young player. And Akanji fits the bill with that. He's got the ability to play in a number of different positions. He can slot into midfield as well. Clearly, mainly used as a centre-back. He could play as a right-back if required, but clearly Palace play with right wing-back, so he's unlikely to be used there. But for Crystal Palace, they do need to really appease their manager right now. He was saying before Eza departed that they needed at least 2 players in this transfer window. Clearly, that's now 3. Eza's departed. That'll be 4 if Mark Gay is to depart the football club. So a lot of work to be done. And for Crystal Palace, they have been criticised for being slow in the market. They've been accused of being passive by their own manager, Oliver Glasner. And bear in mind what he's done at the football club over the course of the last 18 months. You really want to keep this man happy, because last deadline day, last summer, they signed 4 players on deadline day. I was there. It took a long period of time for them to get their act together. And it took them until their 9th league game to win a game. So they don't want to be on the back foot once again. They've had an encouraging start to the season, won the Community Shield, 2 points in their first 2 matches. But they do need to make sure, if and when these big names depart, they have big names lined up to replace them. Manual Akanji, who's won the treble with Manchester City, seems out of favour right now with the number of centre-backs City have right now, that he could be the man to fit the bill.
You don't get excited by defensive signings?
If they're wing-backs, you do. It's centre-backs, you don't get excited, do you? It's the forward players.
That's a good one.
But you need defenders to win leagues.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very true. Right.